Welcome everyone to another episode of The First Watch. I'm Dan Lamarca. As always, I am joined by Tom Osborne, aka Ozzy. How are you, Oz?
So many questions, Dan. So many questions.
Excited to hear them. I am also joined, as always, by Dave Eggers. Welcome, Dave.
We're not going to Okinawa.
Is that this movie's version of we're not in Kansas anymore?
Pretty much.
Yeah, so today we're talking about Kiyoshi Kurosawa's 1997 horror classic, Cure. This came off of my list. It's the first of my 5 faves that we're talking about. And a few of my 5 faves are more recent first-time viewings, including this movie. I saw it for the first time between 1 and 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you said like.
And absolutely loved it when I watched it. I told Davey before we started recording, I watched it a second time like a day or two later.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just like, I can't stop thinking about this movie. It's like in my brain in a weird way, and I need to rewatch it.
So I definitely got the same feeling after watching it. It definitely in the same way, like you rewatch like Saw or like Usual Suspects or there's another one I was thinking of. I just forgot. Whatever.
Well, yeah.
You got the point. Rule of 3, but you got 2.
You're thinking of twisty movies. The thing that's interesting about this one is I think we have a lot to talk about this movie, but I think this movie left me with a feeling that I don't get from a lot of movies. Like, even aside from like the plotting, the actual like thematic resonance that's sitting with me, I was like, I need to like reckon with this and watch it again soon. Like that's kind of how I felt. And the thing I was laughing about with Dave is I know you watched it today.
I did.
And I was like, damn, I should have said, hey, maybe watch it twice or watch it a few days out and think about it a lot, because it's a type of movie that like,
which is funny.
There's a lot of meat to dig into.
For a podcast called First Watch.
Watch it twice.
Yeah, well, it's about your first watch.
Yeah. So we're going to do a little table setting here. There's not too much to talk about with it. But I feel there, in comparison to most movies we have watched on this show so far, this is definitely like the most challenging movie in a lot of different ways. I think like from a like purely filmic, like thematic standpoint, I don't think we really touched anything like this. I think some of my other favorites, like when we get to Mulholland Drive or we get to There Will Be Blood, it's like there are movies that will talk a lot about theme and how many different readings there are of it and how many different.
7 was the other one of the movies.
Mm-hmm. This
7
is
in
like
this movie.
It's like the supernatural-ish 7. Is how
I want to talk about that.
We'll talk about that, but I do think that there's definitely many similarities, obviously. To
when
7.
did 7 come out?
I think it might have been the same year.
I want to say 97.
Yeah. Look that up, Oz.
Right away, sir. Right
away. So let's do a little table setting before we start talking about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Kiyoshi Kurosawa
1995
is... Oh, okay.
Close.
Interesting. Kiyoshi Kurosawa, this is kind of his first like big film in like critical reception. I think based on what I was reading about him, he like went to film school and made a bunch of like smaller, like essentially straight to video movies, like a lot of that's interesting.
Yeah.
I just heard something in the background that sounded like gunshots. It might be fireworks.
It's fireworks.
But yeah, I think there were a lot of the beginning of his career was a lot of smaller stuff, and then when he got into directing his own stuff, I think Cure was the first big breakthrough. And then he's had a couple of things throughout the years that have hit. The interesting thing is just last year in 2024, he put out a feature film Cloud, and a short film called Chime in the same year last year. And he's not like, if you look through his filmography, it's not like he's making something every single year. Yeah. And I have heard so many amazing things about Chime and just haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah, I think overall, when we're talking about this movie, it's kind of the cult classic-y, like film nerdy type of legacy that's left behind from it that's most important, because I don't think there is, like, at the time there were any like huge footprints from it. It's not like a big awards movie. It's not like a big box office movie. Like, there's not like a ton to talk about. It's like surrounding the film.
Our boy Ari Aster said it's maybe the greatest movie of all time, which makes sense for his
Bong
style.
Joon-ho said the same thing, and Bong Joon-ho said the same thing in 2012 when he was listing like some of the best movies he's ever seen. He said Cure is maybe the best movie ever made, and it is interesting that that's really the legacy of this movie. It's kind of like
of who it inspired.
Yeah,
what it feels more like.
Exactly. It's like how all the, like, every single great band for like a 20-year span says Pixies are the best band ever. It's like that sort of thing. But yeah, I think that's the major legacy of it. And then obviously you have Kiyoshi Kurosawa making other horror movies and having an impact in that way. But he also is a professor who had a little student called Ryusuke Hamaguchi, who made Drive My Car, which was like a really beloved movie, nominated for a ton of Oscars, won international film, like huge success. And he has a really good relationship with Kurosawa. And there's actually I watched this movie on the Criterion app, and there is a cool interview actually where Hamaguchi interviews Kiyoshi Kurosawa about this movie.
Oh wow,
which was pretty cool, and it was just done a few years ago. But yeah, I think that, I mean, we don't need to do too much setup. I guess we could talk about Koji Yakusho, who is the lead actor. He was in a lot of other movies in the aftermath. In fact, I think I'm going to double check it, but
he does look familiar.
He won for Perfect Days, the Wim Wenders movie. I think he won at Cannes, like best actor. Yeah, or at Venice maybe, something. I remember reading something like that. But he did a ton of work with Kiyoshi Kurosawa. Almost all of his movies, he was like a main character in. And he's excellent in this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's mostly the table setting. I don't know if there's anything else we really want to touch on. There's not. This movie didn't come out in the U.S. until 2001, and it was like a small distribution. A lot of Japanese and Korean and Chinese films came out that way years and years later, having a small U.S. release. And yeah, this was one of them. So 4 years is a pretty big gap. But
yeah,
have you watched Pulse? Is his other big one, right? That one's
Pulse is one of his big ones. Probably, arguably bigger than this one as far as like popularity. And yes, I've seen Pulse. I really like Pulse.
I have not.
After I watched Cure the first time, I watched a couple of his things and really liked all of it.
Sense.
I don't think anything gets really that close to Cure, in my opinion, but I have a real personal connection to this movie, clearly. But let's dig in. We're definitely not going to just go linear and go through the plot. I think there are some major things that we got to hit, and we'll talk about the setup because I do think the first opening scene is very important to the movie. So we can start there, and then we can kind of drift into wherever we want to talk.
Yeah.
Open on a stark white therapy room.
Yep.
Right. and we have a doctor. Well, we have a woman sitting at a table, and this is a really interesting scene in many ways. But the first thing, if you didn't notice, is she's sitting at the table, and the table just starts like vibrating.
Yeah. So immediately,
in
I'm
a
like,
weird way.
All right, like paranormal.
And no one's
And
acknowledging
this-
it. That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
No one acknowledges it. No one's worried about it. It's not like it's an earthquake, and they're saying like, "Oh, what's going on?"
No. Just one leg.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like audible noise.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well.
So she's talking about Bluebeard,
Yes,
the book.
The Bluebeard.
Right.
Very popular book.
Yeah, and if you know anything about Bluebeard, it's a story about a guy that takes many women and kills them, and then he ends up getting killed by his daughter, right?
Mhm. Well, that's what she said happens at the end. So
Yes.
I assume.
She said, I know what happens at the end, even though I haven't read
Really
it.
light reading.
Yeah, a little light reading.
Yeah.
And he's taking notes in German, which I think is interesting.
I didn't even
Yeah, I
clock
didn't
that.
see that.
Yeah.
either.
Which is pretty interesting, especially as we get going in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we have this scene right off the bat where you're meeting our main character's wife.
Okay. I'm going to say I got so confused for a second with that because I didn't realize that was his wife when we are later like introduced that that's his wife. Because for a second I was like, oh, maybe she's dead because the beer thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then later he says something about, oh, I have the, because my wife. I was like, oh, was his wife a psychologist? And then I thought the psychologist who ends up killing people
God.
was his wife. And I was like, that's going to be crazy. And then it just all falls apart when you're like, oh, that's not her.
That sure is not her.
Yeah. The movie's going on in my head.
But yeah, so interesting cold open here where it's just kind of, here's the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a big cut, and it's a major change because they're playing this like lighthearted music. Guy's walking through the street, walks over, grabs a pipe, keeps walking, walks, and then it cuts to the room. And
again, she's there on the bed in the covers, and the covers move.
Yeah.
Before, like, no one touches them. Like, they're just down by her feet, and the covers move as he walks over. And then he
This is
hits her. Yeah.
So when he hits her, I audibly said, "Oh
Yeah.
fuck." And I think that throughout this movie, I like audibly had that reaction because it's the way the violence is filmed. It's just so just matter of fact. It's just happening. It's not gratuitous, and it's just shocking.
It is shocking, and the reason that one of the many, many reasons why I love this movie is that every single killing in this movie is filmed in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
There is no obvious tell of when something's gonna happen. There's no like consistent theming of like this is the kind of shot we're gonna go into. Sometimes you don't even fully see it.
No. And like I feel like that's part of the issue you have as a detective, like when you're having like these serial killings, but they're
none of them have
all
anything
done by
to do
different
with each
people.
other. Yeah.
Which so when we get to that beach scene, which is
right next,
right? So
before we get to that, I just want to say the interesting, the thing that I really like. So the guy kills the girl, goes into the shower, and just starts scrubbing. He doesn't seem upset. He doesn't seem distressed. He's just scrubbing.
Terrible use
and
of that shower
liner. All the blood just pouring out all over. And then it's him driving to the scene.
Yeah.
And you have this light music again, like over the opening credits of the title card or whatever, and then it's walks in.
I did really
grizzly
like the
scene.
way that came together. That was very nice.
The end. I know. You have him arriving to the grizzly scene. They're talking about it. The guy has all his clothes folded up. His wallet's in the pocket.
Yeah. I was like, easiest detective.
And they're like, if this is the guy, we have a lot of stuff on him.
Yeah, it's like,
and he kind of puts together, our main character, Takabe, he puts together he can't have gotten far.
No
He's
clothes.
He's naked.
No.
He has no wallet.
No.
Where is this guy? And as they're going to leave, he just opens up the little access panel, and there's the guy in there shaking,
in the fetal
naked
position.
in the fetal position, kind of crouched down, and that's now we kind of get to that beach scene that you're talking about.
So at that moment, I'm like, all right, there's supernatural shit going on here. There's like maybe like demon stuff, maybe who knows. And I was like, it'd be a good movie if there was someone who people were going to this person to get hypnotized to like quit addictions and stuff like that, and he was having them kill people. I was like, that'd be interesting.
You said that?
I did.
That's insane.
Yeah, that was weird. Because at this point, I'm still like, oh,
you would never think. No, yeah, that's
weird.
Interesting.
That could be a 2-season Netflix show.
Yeah. So Diana's watching this movie with me, and she made a comment of like, well, that can't be him, like that would be the end of the mystery. And then sure enough, we very shortly get another murder.
Yeah.
So now we're on the beach.
Yes.
You wanted to say something about the beach, but I'll just say the way that, that's what you wanted to say?
Yeah.
The way that, I mean, number one, filming and cinematography of this movie is outrageously good.
This sequence is amazing.
It's so amazing.
They do a lot of dolly shots that are just great, and there's a lot of talking in this movie, right?
Yeah.
But the motion, it's not even just motion in the frame; it's the motion of the frame that keeps it engaging.
Yeah, there's some stuff that they do.
Oh my!
And the stuff that they do where it feels like, Steadicam on two people, and then there's some sort of action, and it almost feels like someone picks the camera up. There's like someone stands up with the camera or something.
There's one later where they're on the roof.
Yeah.
And it's the dolly shot.
Yeah.
And then it like gets to the end of the dolly and then goes up like an angle. And it's just like, okay. This may have been the best cinematography of a movie we've reviewed so far, especially like considering scale of what we're working with.
My vote is yes. I would say this and The Handmaiden are like top notch.
Well, and you have a lot of very long takes, long shots.
Yeah.
With multiple
and
actors.
This one on the beach is one of them. Yeah. I just cannot, like, the mood setting that is going on. This is an extremely slow film for an hour and 5 minutes. And it's like it's setting this like slow drip of the mood, and this beach scene is perfect encapsulation of what we're talking about, where it's like this huge wide angle. You're seeing so much of this beach, and you're just seeing a guy sitting and then a guy like walking up. You barely see him in the beginning, and he just takes his time and walks over. And this is our first introduction to Mamiya, who at this time we have no idea who he is. He seems like a guy with amnesia, has no idea what's going on. He asks like, where is this? And he says the name of the beach, and then he's like, where are we? And it keeps going around.
It definitely feels like we go in circles for a bit.
Yeah, and we'll see lots of that in this movie. In a really interesting way.
I just had a question, because what you said about watching it the first time and then immediately just wanting to rewatch it, because there's obviously a lot of detail, and on rewatches you're gonna pick up a bunch of stuff, but I can't remember, because throughout, one of the things is using light, right, to hypnotize. In the scene, so before the first murder, so when you see the guy walking through the tunnel, do you see the lights flashing in his face? And on this scene, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing that at any point we can get into, so maybe we don't do it now, maybe we do, but the thing that we're talking about with this movie, when we're talking about hypnotism, we're talking about being mesmerized, right, is how much of it is this person is telling you to do something versus this person is allowing you to do something that you have an urge to do or a want to do, right? And I think that's a big theme when you're talking about like a societal, psychological themes that we're talking about in this movie. I think that's a lot of what he's getting at. And I think it's important to think about what is this character of Mamiya like doing. Right? Like, what is he doing? What purpose is he serving? Because we do, and we're much, much later, we do get a line from, I think his name was Sakuma, the psychologist detective.
Yeah.
And he says something of like
he's a missionary.
He's a missionary sent to propagate.
Yeah.
And as you see him interacting more and more and in more depth, especially with Takabe, it makes you think a lot, especially upon reflection and consideration. Maybe not always in real time. Maybe this is something that I'm talking about where you kind of need to sit with and think about and rewatch of like, what is he doing?
So,
yeah. And I think that's why, like, when you think about The Light, the reason this is the rare movie where there's a lot of reasons to rewatch movies, right? You think of like a Nolan Memento or Prestige or something where it's like, I got to rewatch and see the tells or whatever, right? And we've even watched movies like that already in this series. And this isn't really that.
No.
Because when we think about this, at least from my perspective, it's not about like, let me nail down every bit of plot and figure out all the cute details that they did, like The Sixth Sense or like, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's about, let me sit and see what he's actually saying and think about why things are happening and what these people are thinking.
Yeah. It's like, even like, so when I was picking quotes, right?
Yeah.
The only real quote like you can find about this movie is everything I was on the inside is now on the outside, or
everything that was on the inside is now on the outside. Yeah.
So it's like your deep desire to do something.
Yeah. And
but that's even like, so that's like also part of like hypnotism, right? Like it's a power of suggestion, and you can't hypnotize someone who's like fighting it.
Yeah, somebody that doesn't have a want to do something wouldn't do it.
Yeah. And even Sakamo says that. It's like, you can't, if they're like, murder's wrong, you can't. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's why he does like those cold reads of getting like, what's bothering you and who are you? And
that's why he keeps repeating these things, because he's trying to say like, do you understand what I'm asking you now?
To like permeate.
Yeah.
And then you can find your way in and work and be like, oh, like, everyone has someone who's like, oh, fucking just kill this person. Like, make it easier. Like, as a joke, or like, oh, you're thinking like, they're so fucking annoying. So it's like, all right, well, what if you did? Or like, what if you did give into that? And then like, even to like go a little further into what is he doing, right? So he sees it as a movement. It's almost like an extreme anarchist movement of like giving into your deeper desires. But I think where it's actually different is also like the cultish part of it, and like the way they all do it the same, and like
with the X especially,
it's all
right?
it's all
he,
killing.
He does
like there's no one
little X motion.
And there's no like, oh, are you giving into this other desire? It's only killing.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, when you're thinking of like the sociological implications of what we're talking about here, it's like you can think about it from two different ways. And this is a deep movie that requires this kind of discussion if you want to actually talk about it. So
we got into it so quick.
I know we're a little like
we jumped the gun
down the rabbit hole here, but this is kind of what the movie's asking you to do, right? 100%. And I think there's two ways to kind of think about it, right? It's like you are being permitted to go against your societal norms and act a certain way, right? That's like one hand. The other hand is you are being released like a rabid animal to give into your like base desire, right? So it's like one is, this is something I actually want, and one is like, this is something that
I just feel like it's an impulse.
It's like an impulse, and I'm just gonna do it. And I think that's an interesting lens to kind of think about these actions through. And the one that's interesting as we get into these scenes that are of import in the movie, when you think about the cop in the police box, right? Yeah. And when he's being interrogated after the fact, he's like, yeah, he was annoying. Like, I never liked him. Yeah. Like, I never liked the guy. And most of the other people are like killing themselves. They would kill themselves if they could. Yeah. Of like, the guy killed his wife, right? He's like running into walls. Like, I can't believe this happened. I was horrified.
Literally jumped out.
Jumped out of a window, tried to kill himself. Then he's in the room with them, and he's running headfirst into walls, like to just end it. And the thing that's interesting about the policeman is like, he's like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I hated him since he started. I don't like him.
That scene is so crazy because like you also don't fully see, and I'm like, isn't that other guy also a cop? Like, why is he like not stopping him when he like goes to cut him with the plastic knife or whatever?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and he's just like watching him. He's like up against the wall. It's like,
it's because it was like a spoon. No, it was like something that wasn't actually, he wasn't actually in danger.
I do think that's where we could have gotten an insert shot or like a better visual of it.
I kind of liked it, but yeah.
But we kind of understand, like, okay, it's not sharp, but
that's why you saw in that scene specifically, and I know we're jumping around everywhere, but in that scene specifically, you see Takabe be like, like cut, just go with it. Yeah. And he must, he's implying like, you're safe. Like, you're good.
No, I got that, but it was just like funny at first where he's like, it was almost like a little, like the blocking of it felt very Marx Brothers, like following each other.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really funny.
Well, and in that scene, right, the guy, they trigger him using the light in his eye.
Yeah, with the light.
Which he doesn't like. He's like very taken aback by the light. He's uncomfortable. Yeah. And then it's like he's triggered. So, I guess that's, I never really thought about it, but I guess that's part of it. It's like, are you just now hypnotized indefinitely? Are you going to just keep getting triggered?
And that's why when you asked that question in the beginning about was that light flashing in that alleyway, it's an interesting one because it's like, did he get hypnotized at some point and then he happened to walk through that alley and that light got him and he said, okay, let me grab that pipe. Yep. That could be it. But again, we're talking about literalizing something that may be metaphorical. And that's something that we have to kind of wade our way through of like, how much of this are we to take at face value, So let's hit some big scenes. We'll go semi-chronologically best we can, just hitting major stuff. We're not going to go beat by beat. But I think that scene where we were on the beach, the teacher, is like, all right, you come back with me. We'll call the police. And he's like, no police, no police. Yeah. Okay. And then he brings him into the house. And the thing that Mamiya does is so good over and over again. He asks things in circles and circles and circles, and then he gives up the ghost and says something that is like, what?
Yeah.
And in this one, it was like, oh, is that your wife in the pink negligee?
Yeah.
And he's like, you saw her?
Yeah.
And he's like, so who? It's like that kind of shit of like,
oh, no, I know you did or whatever. Yeah.
That kind of shit. It happens time and time again, and it is so fucking good. And that's the kind of stuff where it's like, we're dealing with something more interesting than what you would normally expect. And the actor who plays Mamiya, I didn't say, is Masato Hagawara, who's also excellent. I really love him in this.
Yeah, he's infuriating, but that's what he's going for.
That's the point.
I think that is like what would be the most like difficult part if I was in the situation. It would just be like, I can't deal with you. Yeah, like you wouldn't even get far enough to hypnotize me. Just before,
well, you see, like
the person. There's it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you.
I was gonna say the one that has the most, I think, realistic reaction is the chief cop when they have him in interrogation in front of all the cops.
Oh yeah,
they're in that boardroom with all the cops.
He's like, what do you mean? Who are you? What are you asking? Yeah. And the guy just storms off.
He's like, are you being smart?
Yeah.
The way that people show their frustration for him, obviously Takabe is being like targeted in a very specific way that I want to dig into at some point, where clearly his quote unquote symptoms are quite similar to what his wife is dealing with, and to be struggling with that caregiver responsibility at home while then getting it at work with this guy is driving him insane.
Yeah,
clearly.
Escape it.
But you see it in different ways from different people, where it's like in that first interrogation scene where that like third cop is there with Sakuma and Takabe, and he's doing the talking at first, like, all right, what's your name, blah blah blah. And he literally just turns around and goes, we're going in circles. After like 10 seconds. He's like, I can't do this.
No,
And then Takabe goes in, and seeing his progression to getting so frustrated is so interesting because it gets to literally like a boiling point in him.
Yeah.
Where he's like sitting there, he's being very patient, he's like talking to him, and he goes over and like taps his head. He's like saying like, "Oh, what's in there?" And he's like, "Your attitude is really not helping you."
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? And then he literally is just like, "I gotta kill this guy. This guy's driving me nuts."
When he's out of the interrogation room,
he gets pulled out,
and he peeks through. He throws his
coffee on it.
And he says it. I don't know if it's before or after. He has the quote about what makes a good detective, and it's to not show emotion and all that. And I mean, the entire movie is him.
That is when he's talking to him when they capture him for the first time.
Yeah.
And we will get to that relatively soon. But let's just run through a couple of important scenes, and then we'll get into the. I know it's hard not to.
No, yeah, we're jumping
to
all over
flow around in this movie, but so quickly he's in the teacher's house, and then we have a hard cut after he does the lighter with him, and you see he's kind of mesmerized.
So when he went into the kitchen or whatever area that was, and
the pantry, and he's like
turns the light on, and then when he leaves,
he walks out and
turns the light off on him. And it reminded me of Jackie Brown, but also it's like I need the light. Like you can't have the
But that's the kind of shit where he really is really good in this role.
That's when you know it's
he's
like
really good in this role.
He's sinister. Like those are things he gives himself away at points.
And he does it purposefully.
Oh,
you know?
Of course.
Like he's very like measured. And so he does the hypnotism, and then it's a cut to we get a pulled out shot of the house exterior, and someone just flying out of the upstairs window.
That's like Oz was saying with the violence. It's just like
and seeing it from the perspective of inside with just so much blood on the bed, but then you don't see the
they don't see the body, so you don't know what the fuck.
This is the kind of shit, man, where I'm talking about. It's so cool that all these murders look so different.
And I think with the contrast of like it's such a slow burn, this whole movie, and then you just anything violent is like there's no build. It's just like the violent thing's happening, which is it's very real.
I know, and it feels so good.
Yeah,
that's the stuff where it's like, oh, this is the
whiplash.
This is the good stuff. But it's because it's not so dramatic.
If you were like
that
building
it gives that credence to it. Because if you're building and then you have the music swelling, big scene it's and coming. This and that, and it's like this is just like every day. You know, I think it's the monotony of it. So then from there, I think, they're trying to figure out, they see that the exes are on multiple bodies and they interrogate the husband.
I feel like, so very early on, there's a board already.
That's right after this. So after they bring the husband in and he survived the jump. Then
these aren't the first two.
Before they go in, they were. I think he was the third.
So it's like
it was the pipe guy and one before, and then it was this guy. And they say like, "Yep, same thing." They were horrified after the fact. And, totally unrelated. Can't link these guys at all. And they go in and interrogate him, and he's just like shell shocked. He's just like so fucked up.
Catatonic.
He can barely talk to them, and then they start saying like, "Why'd you do it? How could you do that to you?" And he's like, "I was just so shocked, like when I came to." And they say, "Why did you do it?" And he says the same thing. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
It just seemed natural.
It was natural. It was like,
and even when he gets up out of the bed and we follow him across the room and he's carrying his little blanket, like it's just. Like such a and everyone's tracking him.
I know,
it's just a crazy shot.
It's so good.
I also say that this movie has a lot of just really cool sets and where they film. Like this when it's a hospital or it's some kind of where it's just like this his bed in this like cement place. Even the elevator they take up is super like cool when they're like pulling it up from the bottom.
Like every building is a hospital, a prison, or both. It's like it's so
made
bizarre.
of concrete. But even in that shot, then when he's in the back, like it's just a layer of the shot is just crazy as well. It's just I don't know. It's cinematography on this is phenomenal.
Very cool.
Oh, and I guess we'll say it now too. I briefly talked to Dan about this. Was like the wardrobe in this movie is insane. Like, just wardrobe did a bang up job. Like, with all the dusters, like looking great. The sweater that Miyami's wearing, like everyone's just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it is
great style,
pretty incredible. But yeah, so from here, I think we see some home life. We see the dryer turned on, and he comes home, shuts it off.
The haunted dryer at this point in my mind.
And I think that's the other thing this movie does. That, I mean, it's movies purposely kind of hypnotic with the sound design, right? There's always kind of a hum for machinery or something in the background that, you know, the characters
crashing
here
at the teacher's house.
I mean, they even mentioned the waves crashing.
I know. But that, I mean,
this is when I thought the wife was a ghost, maybe, or something.
He has his dinner. You know, you're flashing back to the Sixth Sense. You know, just missing the check.
Yeah. He just poured a beer and no one drank it. He just left it, and then makes a lot more sense later.
They talk about the trip that they're gonna go on.
No, you pick.
Yeah.
But then he also gave two options. This one or this one.
He did.
Yeah.
I think the next big scene is the doctor, right?
No, way before that. We have the policeman before the doctor.
Do we?
Oh, we're talking about the killings? Yeah. Well, yeah. Isn't he up on the roof?
Yeah.
And then they say, hey, get down.
When he jumps on the roof, that's when he goes to the hospital. So he's up on the roof. You see the cop kind of being like, hey, you up there? What's going on? Stay up there. He runs up.
That little ladder.
Yeah, there's a little ladder to go up there.
Don't go up there.
And then the way he just like kind of like leaps off. You see the jacket like flowing.
So cool. Very Dark Knight Returns.
And then he chases him down. He's in the police box with them. Again, here's a guy with amnesia. No idea what's going on with him. And he's like, can I smoke in here?
Like, can't smoke in
and
here.
you see how they clearly are opposites, right? The two policemen.
He then also smokes in there, pulls the ashtray over. Like, can't smoke in here, but we have an ashtray ready.
And he obviously hypnotized them there with the lighter.
Yeah. And then we get a shot of him just, I mean, there's like a bit there, and then he just pulls the gun out and shoots his partner, I guess we'll call him.
Yeah.
And then just drags the body in.
And
very matter of fact, like nothing happened.
Yeah. So now they're kind of, we talked about that interrogation scene of the cop, and at that same time, Mamiya is in the hospital now because, and then he's getting looked at by the doctor. We get a quick scene of the doctor looking at somebody else, and the guy is like, she's like, pull your pants down and lay on the table.
You're not shy,
yeah.
Which I also think was. No offense to this guy. I think it was a poor choice in casting because it made me double take because the hair was the same. So I was like, are we supposed to know this? And then that was it. Like I was like, all right. Well,
I think it was not a subtle way of saying like, she's a female doctor and gets treated differently than a male doctor. And that's why when Mamiya goes in there, he cues in on that when he's talking to her.
Which at this point I think is possible. Like I'm like, oh, that's because he mentioned the thing about the psychologist and his wife. I was like, oh, that must be his wife. For some reason, the hair up threw me. I was like,
and she's not a psychologist either. She's a general practitioner.
When she started talking to Mamiya, I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I was like, so like up to the point where
this is so crazy.
Like she's cutting the face off. I'm like, this is gonna be crazy when they have to deal with this.
That is so crazy.
For some reason.
So the really cool scene here with Mamiya with her, where
she seemed like she was coming out of it more, and he's like, no.
A couple of times. This was cool because this was kind of a chilling scene of like, you get to see him at work a little bit more. Whereas throughout the whole movie, you haven't really seen it. You've seen him do the lighter and like, let me ask about you, little bits.
Yeah, and it always cuts.
And then in this scene, exactly. And in this scene, they let you watch a little bit. And the way that the camera is, I mean, a couple of things here. One, he turns water on, right? And then he lets it run and lets it drip. And that's going to be her, his way of hypnotizing her. Because he can't smoke in the hospital, she tells him.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
And we get the camera like over her shoulder, and it's almost like in line with her head, like she's looking down a little bit, and you don't get a good view. And then when you see her lift her head up, the camera tilts up a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's when he like pushes her head down and says, "Don't look up here," you know, whatever. That one works so well for me as just like a chill up the spine of like, damn, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And especially, like I said, the more you watch it and think about what is going on here, it's just so freaking cool. Even the way the water is filmed, the way it kind of like travels across the ground.
I think this is one of the best scenes in the movie, I think. And it's really good. I think that specifically when the camera cuts to him just right in front of her, right? Because he's like acting all cool next to the water that he had just spilled and he's chatting with her. It's as close, I think, as we get to like a jump scare, or what would be the equivalent. But it's just so effective because it's just like, oh, shit, what's he going to do? And then he's like, no, don't look up. And you just keep seeing that water traveling. And that's the thing with, with the kind of the ambiguity about him and whether he is supernatural or there's something more going on or if he's just reading these people, right? Like a mentalist or whatever, but because he's asking her questions and then he just tells her basically her what's her motivation or like something from her past, right, when she was in school.
Yeah, he's asking if you cut a cadaver in med school. Yeah. And, like, that's why you got into this, right? To cut a man open. And, yeah, it's really, really well done and well played.
I feel like that's the first time where, like, he's intimidating. Like, that's where you actually feel like a presence like that.
Because he flips the switch. Yeah. And that's what he does so well is he'll play this annoying, weird amnesiac, and then he'll flip, and then he'll be really, like, intense.
More forceful.
Yeah. So I believe the next scene that I can think of is Takabe comes, I think they realize that, like, oh, he took somebody to the hospital, the guy that, jumped off the roof, whatever, and then they run to the hospital.
So there's something, and then there's a call, and he's on his, this is, again, why I fucked up my head so much. There's a call for, like, a homicide in the bathroom, which was the girl cutting the guy's face off.
Which I want to talk about more.
Yeah. And then he gets a call saying he's at the hospital, but like they don't know where he is. And so he like stops, changes direction and goes that way.
Because we don't even see them at the bathroom scene ever.
No, you just see her.
So let's talk about that quick.
So again, that messed with I was like, oh, he was going to go.
He was going to go see his wife.
And then right after that, I'm like, oh no, that's not what
ridiculous.
Happened. Yeah.
So this scene of the doctor killing this person is so fucking crazy.
Was already dead by the time we see it.
Yes, but the way that this scene is filmed is insane. Oh, it is like this camera going in on the bathroom, and then it gets this low handheld.
Yeah. So we're like we're walking up to the bathroom with
behind somebody.
Somebody's walking.
They
in the
turn to
room,
the women's room,
and then
you see this kind of like unlatch and like start going up and low. Yeah, and you see her in a really disturbing scene. I love the way that this scene looks from a horror perspective. The way she has the face like cut off. And then she looks up at the person that walks in and then starts to peel it up, and you see the chin of the muscle and stuff. It is so intense.
One of my cousins described something like that happened. He's a cop. They walked in with what they thought was a dead body, and then he got up and his face was
falling off.
It was a gang-related thing. Someone tried to take someone's face, but
Jesus,
the Joker, Death in the Family.
Crazy. Yeah, very much like that.
Yeah, this was gnarly.
Yeah, so sick.
Really good.
The best part about that was, so they were all like, all right, there's a dead body, and they turn around, and then all of a sudden he yells out a name, and they all freak the fuck out because they're like, where the fuck? And then it's the guy on the floor. But a little tidbit.
That's a fun tidbit. Yeah. Yeah, really
No, that was
effective
good.
scene.
And that guy just like walked out.
Yeah.
Immediately. He's like, nope.
I see ya.
Yeah.
And just the way that she looks.
Oh yeah, and she was just like
She's just crouching down and like looking up, very calm.
yeah,
You know,
clinical,
like,
if you will.
Yeah, really fucking good.
But so I think I don't know if it's after or before that, but you see her cleaning an X off the wall.
It's before.
It is right before.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. But
There must be like he's at the dry cleaner or something,
yeah,
and then they cut to the
Something.
hospital and show the X, and she's like wiping it off.
Yeah.
But that is important.
Yeah.
So now Takabe goes to the hospital along with the rest of them to try to get this guy, and they're like running around. You see him like jumping along the roof, like getting into position.
I don't know what they.
It's like we can't let this guy free.
Yeah, they know someone's like he hasn't left yet, but we don't know where.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't know why the cops were running and jumping around like they knew, like they were following a trail, because that's not what happened. But it was just really funny.
And so we have Takabe.
He's in this like abandoned apartment.
It's like a like storeroom. Like at one point he like bangs into something and a bunch of like uncooked popcorn like falls out of a thing. It's like an old storeroom that has all the lights off. Yeah. Awesome look here because it's just darkness, and he sees the cigarette,
amber or whatever from the cigarette. And
he's talking to him. He's like, "Come here." He's like, "I don't know where here is." Like, it's just such a good back and forth of like.
That's such a funny thing too, because it's like, yeah, you do.
Of course.
And also, it gets used all the time. Like when I'm driving people around, like, "Oh, over here," like, or they'll be like, they'll point, and but they're behind me, so it's like I can't. That's what it reminds me of.
And so he ends up getting him. They have kind of a. This is not a major like. If I remember correctly,
no, he doesn't even find them. The
rest of the guys come in,
and then the other guys come in, and then we cut.
And then we cut to the interrogation.
Yes,
yeah,
which was just great.
So it's later when he's in his cell that he has a more in-depth conversation with them. Because what was Ozzy talking about before that? I said, "Oh, that's when he first gets him."
Oh,
say it again.
Remember, you mentioned like a scene between Takabe and Mamiya.
I thought he was talking about when he was saying like, you know, to be a good detective is to not show emotion while he's having an outburst. Yeah,
that is after the interrogation. That's when he's in his cell.
That's what I remember him talking about.
You're right. I was just thinking that this was the moment we're talking about. I didn't want to pass it.
In that scene, I also thought he was putting that on a bit to like bait Miami into like
it's Mamiya.
I don't know why I said Miami.
It's like Will Smith. Welcome to
welcome to Miami. Jesus Christ.
I said there's no since we don't have like a licensed song to play at the beginning of this episode, I should just put Hypnotized by
that'd be a good one.
Biggie.
Yeah, we'll find out. Or Miami at this point.
Yeah, well. So now we're at the interrogation scene that we talked about before.
Yes.
We talked in pretty good detail about this. I think there's a few little bits that we didn't mention of like he lays out all the killers.
Oh,
he's like, do you recognize these
immediately
guys?
He's like uncooperative.
Yeah. And he just keeps saying, who are you? Who are you?
Yeah.
And again, as Takabe starts to get more agitated, he's like, okay, detective, I'll talk to you. You know, like he like switches it up on him once he succeeds at getting him to that level. And I like that he asks him, he's like, oh, do you like those photos? He's like, no, I don't like photos of dead people.
No.
And he's like, why do you keep them? He's like, it's my job.
Yeah.
What's your job? It's so brutal.
When he goes, is it that one too, where he goes to like sit in the desk behind him?
He does.
He just smacks it.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Well, that's when, that's when he loses his cool. Yeah. So he does the touching of the head, and that's when he sits in that desk. And he goes to get up and he smacks it, and Sakuma comes running in and grabs him. Yeah. And the other thing is he shows him a photo of himself, and he says, "You recognize this guy?" Yeah. And he's like, "No." And he's like, "That's you." He's like, "Is it?" And he walks over to the mirror. Yeah. He's like, "It looks like me."
Yeah.
And then, of course, he goes back to that mirror, and that's when you get the coffee.
Yeah, that was the best.
at the window.
One of the best bits.
But it's like it's uncontrollable.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm saying, and this, there is a larger thing that we need to talk about with this movie. The way that he mirrors his wife, and that's why he gets so frustrated. It feels like, and again, there are many ways to read this movie. If you choose to read this movie as Mamiya is choosing Takabe to be his successor in, passing this on, right? If you believe that that's what's happening here, right? Then you know that this is intentional, and he chose how to act because he knew that it was going to be successful on this particular individual, which I find interesting. The other part of it is the doctor in the beginning, when she's having her session, is writing in German, and we'll talk about Mesmer, who's German, right? Yeah. And are these people being indoctrinated into this? Well, again, we're talking about very literal readings of this that I myself probably don't agree with, but I think it's interesting to consider. Maybe that is the through line, right? She is also Mesmerized's wife, and she doesn't have any of this. And that's what we saw in the beginning. Yeah. That's one reading.
I think that's part of it. Like, we don't know how many, like, I don't think it's necessarily he picked one person who was going to do the thing. I think there's a lot of more
like I said, this is not spelled out in any way. So there's very much choose your own adventure here. But I think I do think that there's a world where that is what's going on here.
No. I think at a point he is like, oh, you have potential, but I don't think it's like maybe just him. Like, I think he feels out more, and also who knows how many. Like, I think at the end we know that there are more people out there as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that is your read, and I know I'm just saying there is a read that's the other way. Yeah. But I think, I guess let's get to the scene where now we do the interrogation. He's in the cell, and we can talk about Takabe going into the cell and talking to him. And that's the big scene of, like, it's a detective's job not to show emotion, right? Yeah. And so this scene, he kind of gets to him of like, oh, your wife is ill, right? And he's like, how do you know that? And he's like, oh, the other detective told me.
Yo, when he beats the shit out of him after, it was so funny.
But he basically keeps talking to him enough, and then he just starts talking, and he's saying, like, yes, I know my wife's a burden. You want me to say that? I know everything I do is to take care of my wife, and blah, 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 whatever. And the thing that is so interesting about this movie, obviously, my example that I'm going to use here is a grain of salt. It's not the exact same thing, but I will say there is something, whether it's caring for an elderly parent that's sick, caring for I have a disabled child who can't communicate. Takabe's like experience here is so well done, and well handled, and the frustration of like the way that he is frustrated, and he's like purposefully being like, I cannot verbalize this thought. I cannot talk about this with anybody. It is a brutal thing to deal with. And I think that this movie, probably better than most, if not any movie I've seen, like really shows that feeling in a way that's like, here is the ugliness of that feeling, and I'm letting it out, right? And when we say what was in me is now outside, this is kind of what we're talking about, right? So him relieving, allowing the demons out of like, here's my horrible feelings of like, I would be better off if she wasn't here, is when we get to the end of the movie, the implication of what we're talking about, right? And it's like, that is a pretty dour view on life. Yeah. But I do think it's effective in what it's trying to talk about. And I will say, from personal experience, it is a real thing that I think people that are like lifelong caregivers have to deal with, of like, you have to do that mental gymnastics of like, this is a difficult thing to do, and you're constantly thinking of like, you have a shitty day. It's like, man, what am I doing here? Like it's like, I'm not working towards any end. and it's just all, rough.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there like, my wife just ran off, and she's not home. I got to run out and find her.
Yeah.
And then I find her, and I'm like, "You okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm all right."
Yeah.
And
he's trying not, like, it seems like he's trying not to put her where he ends up putting her eventually.
Yeah.
But.
And that scene is so good, and it's right after that. It's later on, but it's right after that scene where she, is out missing at night.
Yeah. And
it's so good of like, I just need this until my work is lighter or whatever. And it's like, you just feel that like, oh man, like, that's fucking crazy.
Well, I think that's
tough.
part of it too, where it's like, I am not equipped to handle this. Like even when I was doing the stuff like with my dad's first stroke and the second stroke, like at a certain point, it's like, okay, how much of another person can you fully take on top of your load before you explode? And I had moments where I crashed out, not like that, but where I was like, I need someone to do something. Like I need something off the plate here, because I am not sleeping. I'm not taking care of myself. I can't even do like the normal 2 things you do at once.
And that's why I'm saying like the way that is a part of this movie is so effective because it's very realistic.
Yeah.
And it's very like naked of like, here's this shitty thought that I've had.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's just saying it to this guy because he's there and he's annoying him and he's asking the questions and he's like, fine, I'll tell you. You want me to say that my wife's a burden?
Exactly.
I'll tell you my wife's a burden. Yeah. And it's just so, I feel like having this as one of the thematic through lines in this movie, in a movie that's already so rife with incredible themes to dive into, it just elevates it to another level, and it's so freaking good.
I think it's a very like relatable human characteristic, which also like really cements his character in a way, like to make it like more accessible and relatable as well.
Totally.
But yeah, especially when also you got to fight the person you're helping, like that's always fun.
I know. I know they do a really good job of it in this movie. That's all I'm saying. For something that like usually the like quote unquote representation of that kind of thing is like, oh, this whole movie's about this.
It's never.
And then it's usually melodramatic, and there's a lot of things going on that like take you out of like the reality of it. And for this to be just one aspect of this movie, and it's done in a realistic way, it just makes it so much more affecting. It's really, really good. But yeah, during that scene, this is where we get, first of all, his cell is insane.
Oh yeah.
It's this crazy concrete room where it has this alcove with a toilet. He has a bathroom in there. And
it's
which is really cool. What I want to talk about later is in Sakuma's dream.
Yeah. When
he's there.
And that's where the bathtub
But that's where the bathtub with the monkey is. When it's not there. Like, it's just so good. That whole bit, oh, that's juicy.
I'm not 100% sure most of that's a dream.
Well, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But I think that we are nearing the moment where the movie takes a turn and becomes a, like...
Well, even... Oh, let me just go back real quick.
Okay.
Even when he walks into that cell and you're like, where the fuck is he? And then it's like a reveal. It's like
he's in the bathroom in there.
Who designed this prisoner?
It's crazy.
Like,
so, but the part of the scene that's interesting, they have this conversation. He lets it out. He's like, "I'm a detective. I was told not to show emotions. We have to keep it all bottled in."
And then he did,
he just lets it all out, and he kind of gets like catharsis from it. And then you see
he takes the lighter.
He
says, "Hypnotize me," basically, right?
No, he pulls the lighter out, Mamiya. He pulls out the lighter and tries to do it, and Takabe runs over and snatches it.
Yeah.
And he's like, how about I hypnotize you? And he puts it on. And I fucking love the shot here where he has the lighter out and he's like sitting there. And then you hear the like water start to go. And that angle of you see like this low, like 30-degree angle, and you get the upper part of Takabe's face with the moisture developing on the ceiling, and it just sits on it for like 15 seconds.
Yep, and drips right on.
And it's just, and you just see it all building up there and welling up, and the drips are starting to come through. It's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know before.
Drip.
and I don't know how long the scene is, and it's all in one shot, all before he grabs the lighter, right? When he grabs the lighter, that's when you get when it cuts and you get the new angle of the two characters. But you get both of them for what seems like 10 minutes having this conversation, and then the camera Takabe goes into like that bathroom area, right? When he's like freaking out, he's yelling. And then the camera like is locked in for the entire scene until that, and it like goes to the right.
Yeah.
And then the scene continues.
And is this, just correct me, I don't think it is. I think this is a later scene between the two of them where he says like, I forget if it's "you're amazing" or "you're fantastic" or something, where Mommy is saying it to Takabe. Where he's like, "You're amazing," or something like that. And I don't think it's this scene.
No, I think it's when they're sitting there with all the other cops and they're at the same desk, and he says like, "You're special." I know that.
That scene, yes. Yeah. But there's one scene where
then I think it might be this.
It might be this scene because you're getting that reverse shot of you're getting Mamiya in the distance, like talking at you, the camera.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
And he says like, "You're amazing" or something.
Yeah, I think.
And he's like, "What are you talking about?" Blah, blah, whatever. And then you get the lighter going out. And then the next memorable part that I can recall, I think we get another scene at home at a certain point with maybe this is where she because she runs away and then he puts her away right after, right?
No, there is one more at home though.
Before that I think we got just touch on the water dripping from the ceiling, right?
Yeah, we talked about that.
No, but in the sense of...
We just talked about it.
No, but in the sense of... To me, my read, right, is that he's basically he's a force of nature, right? He's just this thing, like, is he human? Who knows? But he's going around the city, Japan, whatever, and these occurrences are, happening. But because that's the thing, he uses water and he uses fire, which probably means something, right? Using the elements, there's probably something there. But I mean, he's summoning this water to come down and take out the. Well, lighter. Again, if you believe that's I think we're the reality, of
literal, yeah, exactly, and that's the question that runs throughout this film, and there is no answer. Right. There is no wrong or right. You can say, hey, this person is a magical being that does X, Y, Z. Or you can say that water did not come on the ceiling and it did not drip on the lighter. Like, you can hold both of those things.
Well, also wasn't like the immediate cut after that.
It's pouring rain.
Pouring rain.
But it wasn't until it needed to. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
No, right, you hear the rain summoning it once Takabe basically stands up to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's interesting. And I think that's obviously purposeful. There's nothing in this movie.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's similar to later when he escapes. That there's this earthquake, right? Like similar to what happened with the wife at the very beginning. But in that case, somebody does notice it. People do notice the shaking.
Yeah. And at that time, I mean, we'll talk about that. But I agree. I do think it's intentional, it's purposeful, and again, this movie lends itself to many readings, and one of them is literally that he is the, manifestation of this evil being who is traveling around and has, ways of utilizing these mystical powers,
Well, even when we're going to get there, but when Sakuma's like, back in 18 whatever Japan, they were looked at as like clairvoyants and like
soul conjurers.
Yeah, so it's like there was like a bit of both in that.
And that's as well. Why when you get to the crux of this movie and you talk about, is it just power of suggestion? Is it something more? Is it just humans giving into human nature, whatever, right? That those are questions being posed in the same way of when they're trying to figure out what's connecting all these things. He's talking about like, is there a book series that this is from? Is there something that we were missing here? And then he says, what about hypnotism? Whatever. Yeah. And I think that's why this is interesting, because we don't know.
No, exactly.
And I think that's
the thing too about hypnotism, where it's like, it's not even like an exact measurable science on its own, but we know it exists.
Right. And there's varying degrees of what do you believe and not believe about it. And yeah, it's interesting. So from here, I think it's the apartment, right?
Back to
now we're going to Mamiya's apartment.
Okay.
Is there what's
in
between that we should talk about?
How does he get there?
They find out like who he is.
Maybe.
Yeah. They find out where they talk about like the burn mark on his shoulder.
Right.
Where's that from?
That?
You know,
big round
factory.
Yeah. So
that's what
they go to the apartment, and awesome fucking scene. Crazy. Looking through the apartment. Love the scene. Walk in, there's a bunch of animals in cages, a little monkey in the cage.
Mm-hmm. Funny little thing about that is like, so he went to the apartment. They looked at the apartment. There's living animals in the apartment. They come back to the apartment later. Those animals are still there.
Well, that area, here's the thing.
Yeah.
That area gets through to his apartment. Like, that's not his apartment.
Oh, okay.
That's like a shared space.
Okay.
That you walk through to get into his room.
I didn't think it was in his apartment, but I thought they were like his.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think so. But yeah, so they go in. You have this really cool scene of he's looking through the books. He's got the lighter up to the books. Fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. You see it reflecting on each of the book covers as you're like looking through, and it kind of goes through. It's like, you know,
psychological books, bipolar.
You're right. You have Jungian psychology in there. You have Mesmer.
Yep.
And mesmerism. Couple of different books about Mesmer.
Yeah.
And then you see some of his school books from when he was a psych student.
Yeah.
And you see like some of the writings, and it's going through like the things he's studying: animal magnetism, Mesmer. Okay, we're getting a theme, right? Goes into the bathroom. This bathroom, we gotta talk about this bathroom.
Oh my god,
this is a straight up Resident Evil bathroom disaster. It is the gnarliest bathroom.
That apartment's at least $2,000 a month in New York.
Black fluids.
Yeah.
No doubt. You see the size of that bathroom?
A lot of square footage.
Yeah.
The toilet's filled with black stuff.
It's
Resident Evil is the perfect analogy to it.
Yeah.
Perfect comparison.
And there's a little monkey.
But before you even see the monkey, the way that whatever is draped over it, the way that looks is crazy.
Sinister,
Like, you look at that when it's covered, and you're like, I'm not fucking touching that.
No, you think there's a
it's
person
like
just
hanging in different ways.
Yeah, because it's like humanoid shaped, but
so
you can see
weird.
that there's nothing under the bottom.
It's so disturbing.
But it's not.
I love it. What an image.
And the way it like hangs has like shapes to it.
It's crazy.
And like it's like poking out. It's not like how you would just normally see something draped over something.
It's so strange, and it's really excellent imagery. Pulls it off. What do we have?
A monkey.
Really interesting looking.
Like crossed.
Yeah, its arms are like crossed a couple of times.
Crossed.
Yeah. Top. And it's got the X, both carotid arteries.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like crucified to the shower head or whatever.
And it's been there a while because it's looking pretty petrified.
Yeah, it's looking rough.
We think he was hypnotizing other monkeys in his experiments
to kill that monkey.
To kill a
That's
monkey.
the question.
Started out animal experiments first.
Animal magnetism.
Yeah.
That's one of Mesmer's tricks.
Yeah.
So, best scene in the movie. Best bit in the movie.
Is that?
No, coming right after.
Yeah, I
so
think
he's
you're
driving
right.
home. He's driving home, and he's kind of like parked. He's talking to Sakuma, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he used to do this." You know, we looked up his records. They're like talking about him, and then you get these cuts in splices, single frame. The coolest shit ever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a quick splice of the monkey, and then he kind of like looks down. He's like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
And then it's the thing about this, and I have to say, so you get a bunch of different images, some of which we've never seen in the movie, which I fucking love, but they're at different intervals and for different lengths of time, which is
Mhm.
just so disorienting. Some of them are like 0.2 seconds. Some of them are like a full second.
Yeah.
And it's like different spaces in between each of them.
Mm.
And I have never seen a movie, honestly, I've never seen a movie do something like this in a more effective way
Mm-hmm.
of like no music, cut, boom, 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 boom. And then how it culminates of he like pulls up to his house,
Yeah.
goes in, wife's hanging,
Yeah.
horrifying looking.
Very dark in there.
It's
as well.
nasty.
Yeah.
And the look of her and how pale she is and the way her hair is.
I gotta say, the way he reacted to that was a little like,
Oh, I love it.
and then,
Love it.
Like
love
it came
love it.
too, but it was like, at first it was very like, Kevin.
Incredible
I love
acting,
it.
But yeah,
incredible.
I love it.
And
love
then it
love
got there.
The way he is on his knees and just like, and it's silence, and he's like, you just see him like rubbing his face, like breathing, like there's no noise. And then he looks again and just goes, oh, and like pulls his face apart. It is so good. And then that cut of his wife standing there,
Basically,
like,
like
what's
turns
wrong?
to the right, and she's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
So fucking good.
Yeah.
That shit
And
is
it's
so
completely
good.
different lighting, like everything.
It's tremendous.
Yeah.
Really, really excellent stuff. And that to me is like next level, top of the craft, like just superb shit.
So what is your
And
what is
that
your
is-
read as far as, because it all happens right after he gets some knowledge. He's had the interrogation with Mamiya. He's had gotten
That's
some,
it.
but it's that he's starting to get affected by.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's that scene. It's that scene where he turns the lighter on. He got hypnotized.
Right.
He got mesmerized, and that's now it's coming together. He went to his apartment, and he's this scene. One of those frames that's intercut is a scene of Takabe's face, like kind of looking in like a kind of daze, and you've never seen that shot before.
No, and it looked almost like kind of like dazed and relieved in a way.
And you see his wife also in one of those shots very, very quickly, like just a side profile of her like sitting. And it's like there's shit happening that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
And that's really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she's like, "Are you okay? Is something going on? You scare the hell out of me. Are you sick?"
Yeah.
And he's kind of realizing like, all right, something bad's happening. I think one of the major things right before he goes to see Mamiya is before this, right when he goes to see him, Sakuma's like, you cannot go see him.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get in too deep. This is not good for you. It's dangerous. Don't go talk to him. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes, and now he goes to see Sakuma after.
Yeah,
and they're kind of like walking.
They're walking up like
It's like at the
stairs.
university or
Yeah,
something because
yeah.
he's a professor.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like strolling, talking about like mesmerism. They kind of go through it. What's the history?
Again, another like this is just gonna be a chat. Like
Yeah.
this is just a talking thing, but because of the shot, they come up over the staircase and then down the staircase, and then they're in this little valley. And he picks up a ball.
Picks up a football. Yeah,
I think it's a rugby ball.
It is. You're right. It is a rugby ball.
Yeah,
so they kind of have a nice chat about like what are we thinking?
Who's Mesmer?
Do we
Blah,
think
blah,
this
blah, blah, blah.
possible? You know, this is what's happening. Yada yada. Then we get a scene of him going back to the apartment, and he
just
dinner's there. He opens it up. It's a raw steak.
Yeah.
This is another shot where you get the camera move. I don't know what it is. I'm obviously not an expert in film language, but so when he goes and sees that, and he's kind of sitting there, and he had already turned off the dryer, and she walks in and turns it back on, and he doesn't, like, he just like sits there.
He
doesn't. He knows that she turned it back on,
yeah.
and you see he's just like done.
Yeah.
And the way he grabs the steak and flings
Chucks it at the wall.
the way that the camera moves,
Like a quick pivot.
but it's so effective
Yeah.
in like his specific acting, like
Yeah.
his action, the way that camera motion goes.
Yeah.
It's like so punchy. It's really good.
It's really good. And even then, he just walks back into that thing in the back. And I'm gonna be honest. I probably would have gotten a laugh out of that if I opened up.
Well, I don't think he's in the best mental
I understand,
state here.
but I just would have been like, "That's really funny."
But yeah, so and then I think we're rapidly approaching the end game here.
No, yeah, this is like all within the last half hour.
Yeah. So that turn, the apartment is like 105 in a 145 movie. So that's like an hour and 5.
I thought it was almost 2 hours.
No.
Oh.
Hour
like
10. The reason I know this is because that scene that I just talked about with the quick cuts and frames interspliced, I've watched about 10 times in the last couple days. It's just so masterful to me. So that's an hour 10. The end of the movie is like hour 45.
Okay.
So it's like we only have 35 minutes left.
Yeah.
So there is a scene. I'm trying to get it in the right order, but because I believe the last 20 minutes is here's Sakuma and Takabe talking, watching the video. You know, he gets lost in the he gets lost in his dream. You know, there's all that, right?
Yeah.
What happens in between? Because I can't remember.
So from there, he goes. I think he's like, "All right, you got to go," to his wife. Because he hasn't checked her in yet.
So now she is missing.
Yeah.
And he goes and finds her, and that's when he walks in and checks her in.
Yeah.
He's like, just until
They
my
have
work
little
gets
bus
lighter.
Ride?
The bus ride is when he goes.
No, it happens multiple times. Yeah.
Well, one of them
is when he's taking her there.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting because he's driving around the whole movie.
Well, the interesting thing about it is that bus ride. I mean, it's very interesting.
No,
the way that
visually,
the windows are.
Yeah.
They're like in the clouds, flying around. But yeah, they have that, and it's like, oh, I thought that was when she's like, oh, we're going to Okinawa.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
And then no, she's talking about it, and he goes, "We're not going to Okinawa," and she goes, "I know." So like,
he comes home, and she's in bed, and all the magazines are splayed out, and her bags are packed already. Well, that's when he's like,
I thought
time to go.
I thought that he like came in after the dinner fiasco and kind of saw that.
That probably was it. So at some other point he found her, wandering.
Yeah. I think that was her little.
So, so he puts her in, and we get a really good scene of the doctor talking to him and saying like, you gotta not work so hard because by my measure you look worse than her right now. And the way he does look is insane. Yeah. It's really good. Like that angle of him, he looks so tired.
I think that's actually the shot.
It's similar. I don't think it's the same shot, but it is similar. But it's that same feeling.
Yeah.
And his eyes look like shot.
Yeah. He's like out on his feet.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the entire movie, right, it's just his slow mental breakdown. And it reminded me of Insomnia, the Nolan movie. As he's not sleeping, and as the days go by, and the investigation gets worse, and
I'm thinking of Jake Gyllenhaal in Zodiac too.
I'm also thinking of The Machinist.
Yeah.
Or my real life.
What else are we missing in between? Because I'm for some reason
I wrote down. I think the next big scene is the video.
It is okay.
Well, that scene where he says you don't look so good is the same thing as like someone telling me like, you look tired. It's like, bitch, I know I'm tired.
I feel you. But yeah, I believe we are now, hey, I got this video from the library. It's the oldest thing I can find about mesmerism. It's from like
1896 or some shit.
The 19th century, which is just insane to even consider.
Yeah.
And that video is really fucking good and really interesting to just see this very old footage. And when they slow it down and the noise is made like tick, 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 it's so cool. You just see the sign of the X.
Yeah, the hand motion with the X.
This is one of my favorite like horror movie I don't know if it's a trope, but things that always happen in horror movies is when they finally, they discover the old video, or it's the old newspaper
ring-ish
clippings.
Yeah, the Silence of the Lambs, and then like the library, and they do like the scroll.
It's really good, and I just think it's so affecting because they're like talking about it like. Then that's where they have the conversation of like, they used to call
clairvoyants and soul conjurers. Because he's like, this is why this guy's face isn't on camera and doesn't want to be identified.
Yeah, and they see him walking by and like, who is that?
Yeah,
but he never shows his camera or his face on camera. And then what gets him to the point where they're now meeting again? Like, what's in between? So we have this, and then they have a meeting in Sakuma's apartment. Is that here?
It's the same thing.
It is?
So he sits down.
And they're talking about something after watching the video.
Well,
that's it?
He says, what do you think? And he says, I think he's...
Yeah.
What was why am I blanking on the word?
I don't know what word.
Basically, like he's...
hypnotist?
What's the word we... No.
Evil?
Like, he's
Mesmer.
Basically like a missionary. There we go.
Yes, that's where you get the
so
conversation.
He says
he's here to propagate.
Yeah, and then it kind of cuts to his dream.
Oh, what a great
he's
scene
down,
this is, man.
in.
What a great scene this is.
And then we get
I love the way this dream
because it's just a hard cut.
And it's him standing outside the building first.
So you're like, oh, where are we?
Hey, what is this? We never saw this before. And then he's walking through, and there's people.
Mm-hmm.
And he's walking through. And he gets to a recreation of the cell.
Mm-hmm. Well, first he goes to the apartment, and he finds a book that says Heresy.
Yes. Heresies, and he opens it up, chapter 4, Mesmer. Yeah.
Which I think really happened. Like, that's where I'm saying, like, I think parts of this is
he's
fake.
having,
like, he's like, it's getting infused with his hypnotism, because he also talked to him. And I think a lot of people talked to him and didn't realize, and that's why he's able to escape so well.
Yeah. That's why he asked him after. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So part of this. So now he's walking through the halls of this place, right?
Yeah.
And he gets to the cell,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes in and he sees the monkey on the bathtub.
Yeah, which is now in a spot that it wasn't. That's when you start realizing,
because it was in his apartment.
And
now it's in the cell.
Yeah,
and he turns and. Takabe is in the corner,
and
it's such a good scene.
Yeah.
And the way the music is and the sound in this, and he's just walking slowly towards him, and it's just, that is where one of those camera cuts, it's insane, is you get kind of behind Sakuma in the bathroom.
Yeah, you're like over the shoulder.
And you see him like coming in, and the angle of it makes it look like he's so much bigger than him.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
And then it cuts
back to he's sweating.
Yeah, and we're back in the thing where you thought the scene was over.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, all right.
And that's when he says, have you seen Mamiya?
He's like, I think I'm in too deep. Is that what he said it, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, have you seen Mamiya? And he's like, yeah.
And the camera work here is so fucking good, because you have Takabe sitting across from him, and the camera just kind of like slowly swings over, and you get a view now where Takabe is to the right of the frame, and dead center is his bedroom area.
Yeah, the doorway.
Doorway, and it's black, like the lights off.
Yeah, no one's in there.
And it's just like setting it up. We're getting ready to show you this.
Yeah. And then Sakuma goes
he walks in there, turns the light on. You see the X on the wall.
Yeah. And Taka
doesn't see it right away.
He's not. He's facing away.
Yeah.
And then he says something. He turns and he's like, "What the fuck?
What is that?"
And at first it's like he
says, "Oh, it helped me think," or something like that.
Well, first he's like, "What?" And they're like, "The fucking X." And he's like, "Oh, it like helped me." Like,
he said it helps me think.
Yeah,
or it helps me. And he's like, "Of what?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't know." And he starts scratching and
he's trying to get rid of it.
Scratching, and he's peeling the wallpaper away. It's so nasty.
And he's like, "This is a problem."
Yeah. He's like, "You've seen Mamiya?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't remember."
Yeah.
Oh, really good shit.
And then we get another cut.
This is the thing, though. I just gotta say it. I said it at the top. The way that this movie is very slow and then ramps.
It's insane at the end.
But that's why it works so well.
I agree.
Like, you have to have that. Like, I'm sorry to the people that are watching this movie for the first time, and 45 minutes in, they're like, yeah, some cool shit, but I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
Like, it's doing it for a reason.
Which I think is also kind of funny with a movie about hypnotism.
Well,
I know.
It's intentional.
No, I know.
It's really fucking good at what it's doing. So now we cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where are we here?
He's escaped from his cell is like the call to
because it happens like at the same time.
Yeah, it's like a call. Well, I don't think it happens.
Well, I'm saying the thing that we see is he escaped from the cell.
Yeah,
and you have Takabe
like we see Takabe out, so he's not in there anymore.
The guard outside's dead.
Yeah,
the cop outside's dead. And then you see really interesting that I don't even really understand what was going on, but Takabe's in the back of a car with two other guys in the front.
Yeah.
And he's like wiping the fog away on the window.
Mm.
And he's like, all right, yeah, we're headed there now.
Yeah, I think he was just being driven there or whatever.
Interesting.
I don't think I'm thinking like something started to happen where it's like we need like more people need to go, and also like you probably shouldn't be driving or something like that.
And now they go back to Sakuma's apartment.
Yeah, and there's handcuffs hanging.
Yeah,
which obviously he did to him. I felt.
I don't think it's obvious, but
okay.
That is an interpretation.
Yeah, because then he's like and then he strangled himself and
right,
but. It's like, he did that because he's like, you're not going anywhere, Mr. X-Boy.
As you're saying,
there's
Takabe,
definitely a read of that.
Takabe killed him. And
I think, no, I think he cuffed him. Oh, I didn't even think that he killed him.
I think this can be read in many different ways.
That would make sense.
And I think one of them is Takabe killed him. Yeah. One of them is he cuffed him there to keep him there, and then he ended up hanging himself.
Yeah.
And then the other is he just did it all to himself.
Yeah.
But the interesting piece is that if he didn't kill anybody, right? Is the read like
who?
Takabe?
Not Takabe.
Sakuma.
Right. It would have just been himself if he did.
Right. Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been because the interesting thing where it would lend credence to the fact that it was Takabe that at least cuffed him.
Yeah.
Is it's not like even if he did it to himself, he didn't do the carotids, he didn't do the X's or whatever, so it's like, it appears it is not. It could have also just been Sakuma saying like, I have a point of clarity here. I got to kill myself before I do something.
That's kind of what I thought happened, especially, being in Japan.
Yeah.
But also, it also could have been like untangling himself because he was, I guess they might have just uncuffed his hand because why are we leaving the body hanging? But so then so then he's like, all right, I know where to go get him, and it's what was that place?
So
because we've been there,
there's a lot to talk about here because this is now where we get to the what's real, what's not, right? Mm-hmm. Very clearly framed is he gets on that bus again,
mm-hmm.
and then it goes from the bus in the clouds, right?
Yeah.
To him walking in a foggy forest to get to this building. Mm-hmm. Pretty good chance that this is not real, based on the imagery alone.
Okay.
I'm not. Again, there's no definitive answers, but they don't show anything from like where he got here, how he got here, but he's just walking in the woods, no point of origin anywhere.
So the only other thing was this place was also in Sakuma's vision.
Yeah, but who?
No, I know.
But what I'm saying is, why even show him walking in these foggy woods? Mm-hmm. Just show him in front of the building like Sakuma. They're showing him walking in these woods with nothing around him for some reason.
Yeah.
And the classical interpretation of that would be, this is not real.
Okay.
I'm not saying that that's the case, but that is definitely a read here. Mm-hmm. He goes into this building. Really interesting metatextual thing happens almost right away, where we have a figure behind a shower curtain. Mm-hmm. Straight up Hitchcock call out.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting the way that it is different. And you don't have the rip the curtain open like in Psycho, you have this very slow, and you're looking at Takabe's face as he's looking at what he thought was going to be a person, and instead was that same image of the Mesmer
video.
It's not the Mesmer video. It's a photo of a guy. I forget the guy's name, but it's a Japanese understudy of Mesmer.
Oh, okay.
There was a photo in like a book that they were reading that was that same like rubbed out facial photo from like 1899 or whatever.
Okay.
And you see that photo like plastered up behind there. And he kind of like walks away. But again, just think about what this space is. Why is there a bathtub with a shower curtain in the middle of a school
Makes
hall?
sense.
You know, like I think there's a lot of things here that you can extrapolate out.
Yeah.
So he walks in. It looks like I believe the implication is this was an academy for students of Mesmer, or you know what I mean. Like this was like a place that these people studied and lived and whatever.
Yeah, well, that's what it looked like. And then he held up there, and it also looks kind of set up for him to walk into.
So he goes in. He sits down. He's pretty distraught, and you have Mamiya walking over. And he says something, and I don't have the exact quote, but he says something like, I knew you'd be here. This is a good place to figure yourself out, or something like that. Like, gather your thoughts or something. And he's kind of like going on and on, talking about, like, he starts again talking to him in a little bit of circles, but he's...
Yeah.
And Takabe just walks up, shoots him.
Yeah.
Shoots him 3 times. He's on the ground.
He's like, do you remember? You remember now?
Yeah.
Whether real or not, super satisfying.
Super good. And he holds the hand up, the bloody hand,
Yeah.
and he makes the X motion.
Yeah, and then he just...
And then he shoots him again, finishes him off.
And then about 2 or 3 more shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kept shooting.
Really good bit after this where he walks into some sort of bathroom or something.
Where's the not a megaphone.
It's like a
phonograph,
yeah.
Set up.
And it plays this message in German that's like a hypnotizing message.
Yes.
That's like a bunch of different words that sound good together type of thing.
That's what Bucky listened to in Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Same
and
haircut.
then I believe we get just a cut to him in the restaurant, right?
Yes. And you noticed he was able to finish his food this time.
And he looks great.
Yeah.
Even wanted a
And
coffee.
he looks calm. He's eating comfortably. He seems confident.
Them to pull the car around.
Seems happy. Pull the car around. And interesting final shot here.
So the guy, I don't know why,
Okay.
but so obviously the waitress walks around and we're following her, and there's a guy sitting there by the point where she turns who looks like Sakuma from behind with the glasses and everything. It looks like him in disguise. You're obviously not getting enough information to confirm that, but I don't know why. I was like fixated that was going to be him.
Well, did you see she grabbed the knife?
I did see that.
So that's the final shot.
Well, and you also get
She
the
grabs
shot
the
of
knife and she starts walking.
his wife that gets found.
Oh, we missed that. That was before
That was right
we get to
before.
the diner.
Yes.
Right before. So it's just, we hear the clacking and the nurse turns around and it's his wife with the X looking pretty
Gnarly.
pretty well dead.
Yeah.
A couple days maybe. Wheeling out.
Did not smell good.
And then cut to the diner.
Yeah.
But pretty straightforward symbolism on that one.
Crazy.
Now he's very calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
Wife's out of the way.
Well, all of his problems are out of the way right
I
now.
know. But I think...
No, I know.
And the one read would be he inherited the Mamiya, and now he is exerting influence on others.
So you think it's...
I don't think that.
Well, no, okay. But so
But
the
that is
the
a-
theory
that
is
is a
that
read.
he
Yes.
did the waitress.
Yes.
In that sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't think that. I thought that it's just there are more out there that we haven't.
But what did he do? He let what was inside out.
Yeah.
He gave it all out, and what happens when you do that, right?
No. I just meant like I think there's more work that we haven't seen from Mamiya.
Well, yeah, but what I'm trying to tell you is there is the implication that he is now at peace because he let what's inside out.
Oh no, of himself for sure.
And because she, like there's a reason it's happening right next to him, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Like there's not,
Well,
I do think that's a pretty overt implication.
I also think that's part of like the film. Like if we cut away to somebody else, what good would that be? But if you see it so close to him, it's like this is all also happening all around you, and you have no idea.
But I think part of it is that he's interacting with this waitress, and he has over whatever the hour that he was there, right?
Yeah.
And he is the last person she speaks with, and immediately.
Well, she actually speaks to another waitress right before that.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
We've
seen the cop in the police box talk to many.
No, and it was even like a day after with the other one. So.
But I think that the most common read would be that the reason he is so calm is because he is now
doing it.
Yeah.
So do you think it's because of like after listening to the thing he kind of? Or do you think he learned how?
I believe that the most common read would be when Mommy had died and he gave him the X.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he killed him and gave him the X. Mm-hmm. Now he inherits that. You know, again, there are no answers.
No, I know.
There's no right, no wrong. But yeah, I do think that would be your common read.
I just like that idea of also like more being out there because
is another
because of how he said it was like cultish and like he's a missionary.
He's propagating the mission.
Exactly.
Yeah. So pretty good movie.
I'd say so.
It's on my 5 faves, right? So it's one of my 25 favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
So I will tell you, obviously, I'm the one. The way that we're doing this is.
You're not going to rank it.
I'm not putting it on my running top 10.
Yeah.
But I will be putting yours and Ozzy's on my top 10, and you guys will be putting this on your top 10.
And you will be giving it.
And I will be giving it a clear, easy 5-star masterpiece from me. I think this is one of the best films ever made. I think it's just a peerless work of art. I really do absolutely adore it. Yeah. So that's my take. Obviously, it's on my 5 faves for a reason.
Hope so. You'd be like, it's a 3.
But I'm curious what you guys ultimately thought and where it's going to sit on your list.
Who wants to go first here?
Go ahead, Oz.
Yeah, I mean, as can be gathered from this discussion, I mean, there's a lot to chew on. I'm still I watched this movie yesterday and I spent all today. I am still bothered by the earthquakes. And by the things moving. No, but to say the movie, I think it's visually super interesting. The way it's filmed, I love all the shots are just these wide angles, multiple actors for minutes at a time doing some incredible acting, and like the movie sets out to do, it kind of hypnotizes you and you kind of get transfixed with what you're watching. So. Yeah, no, I don't have any complaints. It's the kind of movie that I love. So 5 stars.
Nice. What do you think, Dave?
Again, so like I've said, I love the cinematography of this film. Down to wardrobe, I think on a technical level, the movie's great. Again, it is a slow burn, so I understand that. And I also think the more you sit with it, the more I literally watched this today. So it's funny how only a few hours ago have I been sitting with this film, and it's even after just talking about it and all stuff. I'm gonna give, and I was like teetering on like, I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Okay.
I think it's funny because like sometimes I'm not always happy with ambiguous stuff, but I do like what was done in this. I think it truly is ambiguous, not just like you're making your own ambiguity. But I do like it. I like it a lot. I think I'm gonna revisit it either tonight or tomorrow at some point. It
does really reward that.
No,
I will say it's a really good. It has grown every time I've watched it personally.
Yeah. and it feels like it's one of those films that it's going to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah. Again, I think it's just a bit of like personal preference.
Well, and I think it's one. It's not.
And I
It's not a. The movie is ambiguous, but it's not in a frustrating way, right? Like as we were talking about it, there's like several reads you can have, and things aren't ever going to line up, but it's not just ambiguous for ambiguous sake.
No.
In a sense of what the hell did I just watch? What was the point of it?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And again, as funny as it sounds, like I don't think this is for everyone. Like obviously there are gonna be people who are like, what was that?
Right.
But it is.
Definitely,
I think it's worth it, and especially like even if you start and it's like you're like, this is a fucking slow burn, it pays off in the end. I will say that. That's the other thing. Like slow burn that pays off is worth it. I just think. I don't know. I think 4.5 is a fair rating.
It's a great rating.
Yeah. So
You're saying it's a pretty darn good
to
movie.
me, like I don't see how it's a slow burn. To me, it's like a typical, or not that it's a typical detective story where there's a serial killer out there, but it's obviously got that. But it's not like to me, it's not a slow movie. It's not. It's talky. There's not a lot of action, but it's not.
I think the beginning takes. I
mean, you have a murder in the first
like
3 minutes.
No, I understand what you're saying, but it's also like, I think it's just because you're so disoriented maybe at the beginning, but also like not everything is like really or feels like it's building towards that because you have a lot. Again, it's very talky, and you're talking with other characters not related to the murders yet that you know.
You can picture people saying like, okay, like, is this going somewhere?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of feeling.
I think in general, like a talkie movie is usually a slow burn, depending on like the talkie.
Yeah.
But like you like talkie movies, that you're fine with that. You're used to that. You know that. I do think it is a slow burn, especially like in the pacing sense of like what's moving towards something or like that you can see. And then at the end, it all comes fucking like the speed of the movie at the end, the pacing just changes, and I think it's rewarding.
Yeah,
but I think it's fair to say that the pacing of the movie does change.
Yeah,
like I don't think it's really moving.
It does
too quick.
It's very intentional.
At the beginning. Yeah,
I mean, it's literally like it's trying to hypnotize you.
Yeah,
so
lulling you in.
Just a funny aside, but it's about this. After I watched this, I texted my friend Nico from school. He's a huge horror movie guy. Like him and his wife do every October 30 days of Halloween or of horror movies.
Oh, it's fun.
He had never seen this, but I told him to watch it,
wow.
and he just watched it with his wife, and he texted me. So was the real mesmerism the friends we made along the way?
Unbelievable.
I've been using that a lot lately, especially with like the Epstein stuff.
Jesus. Something I wanted to mention because something we skipped, very minor thing, but when he escapes, he's banging on that radiator, which
stool.
causes all the rattling,
which
hypnotizes the people, which allows him to escape.
I was very much
because you see the image of the detective sitting at the desk and he's totally hypnotized by the rattling of the stuff.
So that's kind of what feeds my like we don't know who's hypnotized out there thing, is because it's like everyone in that fucking prison was hypnotized and talked to him.
But the thing that they're constantly playing with is like
supernatural.
Like what is really happening,
or at least
like,
my read,
is him slamming that stool into the furnace really what's happening, or is that our visual metaphor for how he has hypnotized people? Like that's what's kind of interesting and up for debate. So best performance, I mean, we have two great leads. I do think that everybody's really good. There's not much, like there's a couple of small bit parts, and Sakuma I guess is like the third.
He feels like,
but that's really
it's
it.
1, 2, 3.
So for me, I mean, I gotta go with Takabe's
that's how I'm going.
Actor, which is Koji Yakusho. I do think Masato Hagiwara, who is Mamiya, is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's given those scenes to really shine, he
I do
pulls
think
it
he
off.
shines in his scenes, but I do think Takabe is stronger.
What do you think, Oz? Go for 3 for 3.
Hell no. I'm going with my boy Mamma Mia.
Nice. Yeah. It will happen.
I think to me he's up there as far as horror movie villains or movie villains. Because he is this force of nature.
He's very good.
And it's funny because it's in a different way than like a Hannibal Lecter, where
I think
they're both
his actual. Go ahead.
They're both
sorry, I'm gonna
are, and not pun not intended, but they're both mesmerizing. But Mamiya is this super frustrating character to listen to because he's just always asking these questions in a circular fashion. Everyone's just getting pissed. It's not the Hannibal Lecter. I'm super smart and well spoken, but the effect that he has on everybody and just this version of evil that he portrays, I think is up there.
See, I would say they are like what makes them good villains is very similar in the way they like puppeteer who they're talking to. Because like, yes, he's a cannibal, but like that was never really the scary part, right? Like he was never like jumping at people and biting them. Like, well, I mean, he does do that, but that's not what the scary part of him was. It was his intelligence is what scared people in the way he would
manipulate people.
Because he was a psychiatrist, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
right?
he was. Yeah.
And I do think those are some of the best villains. Like,
yeah, it's very. I mean, listen, you can't go wrong with either one of them. I think they're both great.
Yeah.
Best scene, I said mine. Pretty clear for me. There's a lot of great scenes, but pretty clear for me. There's something special in that.
I really like the one where they're interrogating the cop. And they re-hypnotize him.
It is really good.
It's really good. And just because it's like it's moving the plot as well, but also like it's kind of funny.
It is.
But like
and the way that they are doing
it felt like the Marx Brothers like walking around the cell like
well, and especially like they're doing the light and he's like slapping it away.
Yeah, no, it's like it's really good.
It's good.
I think it's an underrated scene.
It is really good.
Oh, man, I think that is my favorite scene because he's like, no, and then he's like, they're getting information and they're like, he was this. And it's like, who?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
It just gets up like, we're gonna have some. I don't know, man. It was a good scene.
Oz, you agreed with me when I said it, but do you have a backup scene you want to shout out, or do you want to just say?
Yeah, no, I think obviously the acting when he finds his, or I guess she's not actually dead, so what he thinks he thinks is reality. But there's a lot of good stuff. But I want to say it would be the hypnotism of the doctor is my favorite, and I think it's because it's the first time you see him actually in action. And
that's a good one.
You see his entire process, but it's also the first time you're actually scared of him. And when he he turns from this just strange guy that you don't really know what he's doing. He's just this amnesiac that doesn't remember anything, and he's just asking questions to he flips that switch. You get that great shot of when he's standing up right in front of her.
So good. And just like pulls her head, like points her head down. Yeah,
you actually see the evil in action, right? So,
yeah. That's a really good scene for him as well.
Scene. Yeah, there's quite a few really good scenes in this movie.
Just a few.
So where are you guys ranking it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Pull them up.
Oz, what'd you say?
I said pull up the rankings.
All right, Ozzy, you are number 1, Jackie Brown. Number 2, The Handmaiden. Number 3, Saving Private Ryan. Number 4, A Few Good Men. Number 5, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Number 6, Annie Hall. Number 7, The Sixth Sense. Number 8, Shaun of the Dead. And number 9, The Shape of Water.
I think I want to put it 2.
Wow. Nice. Love that. So you now have Jackie Brown 1, Cure 2, Handmaiden 3. Those are your top 3.
Yep. I'm happy with
Pretty
that.
good.
I'm happy with that.
Pretty good.
I'm stuck between 2.
Dave, what are you thinking?
All right, so I have Jackie Brown, Handmaiden, Annie Hall, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Shaun of the Dead, Sixth Sense, Shape of Water, A Few Good Men, Saving Private Ryan. So I'm torn between 4 and 5.
Okay.
If I'm gonna put it, is it gonna take down Mr. Fox? I think it's gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it at 4.
Going to 4. I'm adding it in.
Yeah,
Cure number 4.
that feels right.
So you have Jackie Brown, The Handmaiden, Annie Hall, Cure at 4, and Fantastic Mr. Fox number 5. So you guys officially have a top 10,
It's true.
which means the next movie you add to your list,
We'll knock one off.
you will have to knock one off,
Unless
or
it doesn't make it.
It doesn't make it.
But
I have 9.
I have a feeling I know what's happening over here.
But remember, the next two I will be adding, and you guys will only add 1 each. So after the 5 faves for this round, we will be evened out. Speaking of which, I believe it is our friend Davey's turn to pick one of his 5 faves.
I already know what I'm picking.
So you have 7 Psychopaths, Paddington, 12 Angry Men, The Raid, and Blazing Saddles.
All right, so I have a rule.
A rule.
A rule.
Okay.
If I have an opportunity to show someone Blazing Saddles who hasn't seen Blazing Saddles, they're going to see Blazing Saddles.
Incredible.
So I'm picking Blazing Saddles if you haven't put that together yet.
It's a very good movie.
It is
It is very good.
probably the best comedy of all time.
It is available on most streaming platforms.
Oh, I meant
it
to look that up today.
on YouTube, Amazon, Apple TV, Fandango at Home.
Not on Netflix anymore?
Does not appear to be on Netflix.
Fandango
Again,
at
I am
home,
using
huh?
I am using Google's.
Sounds like a scam.
I'm using
Yeah,
Google
yeah.
for this, and they could be very wrong.
I also have the DVD. So,
Well, that's nice for you.
yeah.
You got a
You wanna
DVD
borrow
player?
it? You want me to bring it over? I can bring it over Monday for game night.
Game night, and we'll play.
Well, I could give it to you to watch.
I
whenever
haven't
you
seen this movie in at least 10 years, so I'm very excited.
want. I watch this movie probably multiple times a year.
It's a really good movie.
It is a very good movie.
I'm excited to watch. So stay tuned for that one on the next episode.
Yes.
You can always find all of our stuff. Obviously, you're listening to this. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. You may be listening to this on Spotify. You may be listening to this on Apple Podcasts.
Or anywhere else where I
Or
figured out.
other. Yeah, well, Apple Podcasts is one of those other places to figure out.
No, I know.
So it'll be everywhere by the time you're hearing this. Promise that.
You could always edit this out.
You also can find us on Instagram at The First Watch Pod. You can keep up with our episodes and what we're posting and what comes out when. And you can email us at firstwatchpod@gmail.com. So find us on any of those. One day when we catch up with where we started doing these,
That'd be crazy.
then we will.
So if anyone wants to know where we are at, I was listening to the Shape of Water episode on my way here.
Well, there you go. Time capsule.
Little inside
you know
baseball.
exactly how far ahead we are at this moment in time.
Yeah.
But I think that wraps up the episode, boys. Excited for Blazing Saddles next.
Yes.
And then we'll go to Ozzy's 5 faves after that.
Giddy up.
Thank you, Tom, for being here.
Thank
Appreciate you being here for us.
Happy to do it.
Thank you, Dave, for being here.
Always.
And thank you, everyone out there, for listening. We hope that you enjoy this episode. And until next time, peace.